The scriptures tell us how we're going to say who's who, because like we said, even though dark is beautiful, we come in all shades of color. Like my brother right there, somebody might, if he didn't have his color with him, I mistake him for a white man. We come in all different shades of color. Of course, color helps us decide, but it's your father's genealogy decides who you are. Whatever the seed your father is, that's what you are. If you have a white mom and a black dad, you're black. You're not mixed. If you have a white dad and a black mom, you're Caucasian. Depending on the father's genealogy. I'm proving that to you in the scriptures too. Get that first. If you have a black mom and a Caucasian father who knows he's Caucasian, you're a Caucasian. Exactly. That's the seed. Good look. If you take an apple, listen, you take an apple seed and you plant it in China. Does it turn into a pineapple? You take an apple seed from here in America. You take an apple seed and you plant it in China. So an American apple seed planted in China, does it become a pineapple? Does it change its nature, or is it still an apple? The soil is different, but it's still an apple. It's just a different soil. That's it.
The intercontinental ballistic missile. The book of Sirach, chapter 21 and verse 1.
But those things which God before had shewed by the mouth of all his
Why do we live in these conditions? Because these are not good conditions.
That's idolatry, because we are a rebellious people right now.
So you ever ask, like, why do we get persecuted? How can we get defied? But our people are so destroyed, they actually think that this is normal. This is not normal. You know, it's not normal to be out here with trash all over the place. You got bullet holes at the bus stop. You got people passed out, either drunk or on drugs. This is not normal. This is a bad condition. So why do we live like this? The brother's going to show you. Just give him a few minutes. Show him why we curse, so he can understand the importance of knowing who you are, and more importantly, what we can do to lift these curses, because that's what he's teaching.
What you gonna do in the kingdom?
What's going on?
You got probably in the streets, these type of things, you gotta come up against that.
I'm just trying to reach the masses. Babylon burns when it do it turn to ashes. Flames of fire in the sky, he made a mansion. And when the king returns, he swing a sword and slay the dragon.
We gotta keep.
At ease. So, bro, two things hold us. I want to go over with you right quick, because you mentioned two things. One about the Africans and West Africans, and second about our Hispanic brothers. So, what you said? I got you, bro.
Them people, they kind of
Yeah.
they
hate us.
Like I found out, right? Why the hell they learning algebra and geometry in second and third grade, and over here they teaching us some bullshit. But y'all, it's like every race is like superior over the American, and I don't believe this shit either.
Believe what?
This
far as
right
what?
here, this right here, American blacks, because we can't be American.
No, but no. Listen, we're saying that's what they call us.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. That's what they call us. This is what we really are from the tribe of Judah.
That's right.
You know, that's not. How can you be?
Like our nationality from Judah.
Yes, sir.
Hispanic person could
Be from. It could be if they're from Puerto Rico, from the tribe of Ephraim. If they're Cuban, from the tribe of Manasseh. So on the right side, those are names that the heathens call us. That's the names they give us. Those aren't our true names. So first, I'm gonna address what you said about the Africans, which is 100% true. So not all of we're not African. Some of our people are. Listen. Some of our people are from Africa. You know, when we fled from Jerusalem, give me that. I'm sure we spread out all over. We spread out mostly West Africa. We spread out throughout all of Africa. I'm gonna prove that to you. Get that in Luke 21. I'm gonna show you how when Jerusalem got trodden down, we escaped into Africa to escape Roman persecution.
So he wanted to see the color of Christ in the Bible. We never seen it.
Okay, can you give me 5 minutes? I'm getting your point. Real quick. Read.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 21 and verse 20. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies.
So Christ right here was prophesying what's going to happen when the Romans come to take our city, Jerusalem. Because before, we lived in Jerusalem, not those fake white Jewish people. Because Jewish, ish means like a pertaining to. They're trying to be like Jews. That's what they call them, Jewish. Huh? They're enemies. Yeah, bro. They are true enemies. They don't even believe in Christ. I say, no, they're not in the Bible. They don't believe in Christ. That's why we got to read the scriptures. Like, that's why us talking to you, other people talking to you, got to spread that knowledge to your other brothers and sisters. That's why we out here, to teach our people our true history. Keep reading.
And let them which are in the midst of it depart out. And let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto.
So the Israelites that were still there, still inside Jerusalem, dip out. The ones who were coming to the city, nah, don't come over. They're about to come and kill us. Keep reading.
For these be the days of vengeance.
For these are the days of vengeance. And remember, this happened because why? Why was this happening to us? Because we didn't listen to God. Correct.
That all these things which are written may be fulfilled.
Get that in Matthew 2 and 13 about going to the mountains. So the same advice Christ gave us here to go into Africa, he did the same thing before he was born. Because remember, they were trying to kill him when he was a baby too. So where did he go and hide? Read that.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 2 and verse 13. And when they were departed, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared unto Joseph in a dream.
So the angel came to Joseph to tell him where to hide,
saying, Arise, and take the young child and his mother, and flee into Egypt.
Flee into Egypt. Where is Egypt at? In Africa. So why would we go there? Why would we go to hide in Africa?
Oh, no, I said Africa.
No, you're right. You're right.
To society, that's not
They
Africa.
think it's the Middle East. They think, yeah.
They are superior to us.
The thing is in Egypt, because right now it's more Arabs living there now than so-called Africans. That's why they think like that.
It's not the real Egyptians.
It's not. It's not.
The
The real Egyptians were tall men of stature. They enslaved us too, though. The Egyptians enslaved us too. But keep reading. What does it say about the mountains?
And be thou there until I bring word. For Herod with thee seeks to destroy the young child.
Okay, to hide because some Africans, they sort of look like us because of skin tone, but we're still not the same people. There's some dark-skinned Indians. Are we the same people? Like I'm talking about like Indians, East Asian Indians. Are we the same people? No, we're not. So get Leviticus about
So that came from them enslaving us, right?
Okay, us trying to be like them?
Yeah.
Yes, sir, yeah. And that's why when we left Egypt, that's like the Most High God said, don't shave our heads, don't shave our eyebrows, because those were Egyptian customs. Homosexuality was an African custom. Yes, the white man puts it up more now, but that started in Egypt. That was a homosexual custom that started from Africans, not from the white man. The white man took it, he got the power now, so of course he's going to be in the forefront. So he's pushing it more now.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 18 and verse...
Because, look, bro, I'm going to tell you, because my father, I'm going to tell you, I know you're talking, my father is from Nigeria. And I know for a fact, when I meet certain Africans, they treat me like dirt. I tell them my last name, all of a sudden, I'm their best friend.
But if they met your father,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, bro, because they hate us. Because some of them are actually African, some were brought up to hate. This is how it was black, dark skin versus light skin. Some people in Africa who are Israelites are brought up like that too, to hate other people who they think are American blacks or Akatas. So some Africans are brought up to not treat certain so-called African Americans with respect. They think they're at a lower estate than them. Because why? Who gave them that pride? The white man gave them that pride. And also, they know they're not our people. Real Africans know they aren't our people, so they see themselves as a higher estate than us. But there are remnants of our people in Africa, mostly in the West Coast, but all over, like Nigeria, Sierra Leone. Why do you think sometimes we look exactly alike? And why we get along? Most of us get along. Of course, it's the ones who think they're better than us, but most of us get along because we're the same people. But not all of us are the same people. I'm going to bring that out for you.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 11 and verse 7. But against any of the children of Israel.
So the Most High God is saying, against any of the children of Israel, so your so-called African Americans, Hispanics, Native Americans,
shall not a dog move his tongue.
So a dog shouldn't be saying anything to us, because a dog is like an animal, right? That's a beast. That shouldn't be. We should be over the dog. The dog shouldn't be dictating for us what to do. Let's see what the Most High God is going to compare a dog to.
Against man or beast, that ye may know how that the Lord doth put a difference.
So the Most High God put a difference between who?
Between the Egyptians,
who are what?
Who are the Egyptians?
Africans.
And Israel.
And Israel. So the Most High God put a difference that vast.
I was listening.
Okay,
My
my
mind was just going off.
Yeah, my fault. I didn't mean to get you off guard.
Take him right now.
So that just shows the difference. The Most High put that vast difference between us and the Africans, that he's comparing them to dogs. The Bible describes the heathens as dogs. Heathen means someone from another nation who is not an Israelite. So if you're not a so-called African American, Hispanic, or West Indian, or Native American, you're not of the children of God. Get Zephaniah 3. Zephaniah 3. I'm going to show you how we're going to decipher which of our people are Israel and which are not from Africa. Because through slavery, get Isaiah. Yes, sir, get Isaiah 11. I'm going to show you how the Bible tells us how to decipher who's who. Get Isaiah 11:11 first. Through slavery, King James Bible, you get it from Amazon, any bookstore. We sold it at the school after the Sabbath. You can get it almost any bookstore. Because through slavery, we were scattered through where? And give me the sign. Through all four corners of the earth. We were slaves in India, we were slaves in China, we were slaves in Europe, slaves in South America. But we built all the great statues, all the great things of the earth. The Great Wall of China, the White House, the catacombs in Russia, the Kremlin. We built those things in slavery, bro. Why do you think that can't be repeated? Why haven't they rebuilt those type of structures? Because we're not enslaved. We're not physically enslaved to do that, but they still have us in us. Right. So right here, this shows how we got scattered through all the four corners of the earth. Europe, Asia, South America, Europe, Canada. We were scattered through all four corners of the earth.
That's what we're going to this, man. I'm reading it right here. Main source of African slaves.
Yep.
And this one say main earners of slave importation in the New World.
Yep, yes, sir. And a lot in history, they might say Africans a lot because that's a more common word, but 9 times out of 10 they're talking about us. Because think, why would brothers sell their brothers into slavery? Does that make sense to you? They wouldn't, because they know they want us. I wish I had the video. I have a video. I have a video where it's an African calling to a radio show where he admitted they used to kill us, they used to eat us, and when they got tired of us, that's when they sold us to the white man. When they got tired of killing us, that's when they sold us. And he admitted it, so they know their history.
Go to this African statement where I have this African confession on tape that he know we are two different manner of people. We're talking about the seed of Ham, and that they sold us into captivity, and that they was cutting our ancestors' heads off, okay, and that they was eating, okay, the heads, because they were a bunch of heathens. Just like it says in Jeremiah the 10th chapter, follow not the ways of the heathens, and how he specifically distinguished that he come from a different bloodline, a different ethnic origin from the so-called Afro-American, Jamaican, Haitian, Puerto Rican, Panamanian, Cubans, Mexicans, okay, so on and so forth, and the so-called black, brown-skinned Native American Indians, okay, and all the brothers and sisters in the shanty towns of North, Central, and South America of so-called Negroid descent.
The problem is, you Israelites, you black people in this country, what do you say about them? You call them animals or something?
I call them inferior. I call you slaves. We turn you into slaves, and when we didn't need you no more, we kick you out of Israel, and out of Egypt and out of Africa. We sold you to America, and that's where we want you to stay, and we don't want you back in Africa again.
Now, you black people in this country, it's time for you to wake up and realize that this stink doo-doo eating African does not care about you. He's not your people. He hates you, and that's why he sold you out of Africa. Now, and you admit that, right? You're admitting that today on 42nd.
The white man is not a devil. We sold you to the white man.
Right.
If we had sold you to our devil, you would not be alive today.
Now, let's get back. You did.
We don't want you to die yet, so we didn't
Didn't
take the devil.
Africans chop our heads off in slavery and all that and sacrifice it to your God?
We ate it. What do you mean sacrifice it?
Say it again?
We ate the goddamn heads when we chopped them off. We didn't sacrifice you.
Oh,
We used to eat your assholes over there.
In Africa?
Yeah.
Before you
You
sold us.
forgot that we used to eat the men over there. We used to
Before
eat
you
people.
sold us to
Yeah.
America. You used to eat
And then when we got fed up of your flesh, it was no good anymore, and we thought it was unclean, we decided to sell you into slavery to get rid of you. In case you multiply and subdue the earth over there.
Okay, now, but let's get back to the point because you're trying to get away from it. Why wasn't he able to stop the hand of the Lord, the Israelite God, the God of Israel, from delivering his people from such a powerful, mighty nation? How come your God didn't do that? Let me tell you.
How come we didn't stand up for Pharaoh and save Pharaoh's eyes? We said, drown in the Red Sea. We said, get your assholes, you Israelites, out of our goddamn country and take your God with you. And we don't want to see you back to you anymore.
That's a lie. You were forced to let go the children of Israel.
No matter how we were, it doesn't matter. We were glad to see you how
I know you was glad. You was glad because you was getting your asses
and you
kicked.
came back.
You was glad you glad because you was getting your asses kicked. No, when you came back, we decided to sell you. You was glad. You know what? When they came back, when you came back to Africa, we started to slave. Getting your asses kicked. That's why. Okay, now listen. We were beating your assholes with whip and turning to slaves. How could we get our asses kicked? We were beating your asshole with whip. Yeah? I'm making you burden, making you carry, making you into slaves. We were whipping your asses every day. Right, but you know what? Oh, that's right. He said that the problem is you Israelites, you black people in this country. What do you say about them? You call them animals or something? I call them inferior. I call you slaves. We turn you into slaves, and when we didn't need you no more, we kick you out of Israel, out of Egypt and out of Africa. We sold you to America, and that's where we want you to stay, and we don't want you back in Africa again.
Read that. Isaiah 11:11.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 11, verse 11. And it shall come to pass.
So it shall, meaning this is going to happen. This is a prophecy.
In that day, that the Lord shall set his hand again.
So in that day, we're in that day right now because we're working at people all over the world. We got camps in Europe and Africa and the Caribbean because they're all remnants of our people scattered throughout, even in Russia.
That the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people.
So the remnant meaning the leftover, the ones who weren't killed off in slavery, the ones who were still around who are going to repent and follow this Bible. You're considered a remnant too because, you know, a lot of our people got killed through slavery and still getting killed today.
What shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt?
What shall be left from Assyria and where?
And Egypt.
And Egypt. Where else we're going to be at?
And from Pathros.
And from Pathros, where's that at? That's Upper Egypt. Keep reading.
And from Cush.
Cush was Ethiopia because some of our people are in there too. And things, a lot of Ethiopians, some of them are Israel, but a lot of them are Hamites, and they treat us horrible too.
And guess why it is? Because they culture people, or their parents,
They know they culture.
Made them do that
right,
shit. People, like, when I was growing up, some of the Hispanics or the Ethiopians I went to school with,
right.
Montgomery County out there, you know it's
it's
an interracial
Yeah, I'm on the Springbrook, so I know you're talking about.
So what these people do is, yeah, he cool, but he can't come in our house because he's not
right.
our religion and he's not
right.
our people.
Right.
So, in other words, he's beneath us.
Exactly. And the reason Hispanics are like that is because who had them in slavery? Who were they living with? The Spaniards. So they taught them, they made them to be coons. Just like we got coons in the black community, there's Hispanic coons too who think they're better than us, even though we the same people. That's to keep us divided. The same thing, dark skin versus light skin, black versus Hispanic. They're using us to kill and keep ourselves and each other separated.
That's a big thing in Africa now. You're making the people that are not much color of us, that's light skinned, like same thing America doing over here, making the people think
light skin is better. Right.
The black is the ruler for
yeah,
real.
because we was originally dark-skinned people. The only reason why we have different tones now, of course, black people, we can have any type of color, baby. Somebody as who's the blackest out here? Who's the black? Somebody as black as my brother, off leaving right here, and who's the black? And someone darker than that sister. They can have a baby that can come out looking like him right there. Because of our genes, but we can do that. But two white people can't produce no dark baby. Only we can do that. We can produce any type of color in the world. Keep reading. So I'm going to finish showing you where places we were scattered at through slavery and where we're going to be coming from.
And from Cush.
And from Ethiopia.
And from Elam.
This is India.
And from Shinar.
That's modern day Iraq.
And from Hamath.
And where else?
And from the islands of the sea.
That's the Caribbean, your Madagascar, your Australias, all your other islands. Because we were scattered through all nations of the earth. So saying that, how do we know who's Israel and who's not? Get Zephaniah 3 and whole Romans 8. The scriptures tell us how we're going to say who's who. Because like you said, even though dark is beautiful, we come in all shades of color. Like my brother right there, somebody might, if he didn't have his color with him, I'm mistaken for a white man. We come in all different shades of color. Of course, color helps us decide, but it's your father's genealogy decides who you are. Whatever the seed your father is, that's what you are. If you have a white mom and a black dad, you're black. You're not mixed. If you have a white dad and a black mom, you're Caucasian. Depending on the father's genealogy. I'm proving that to you in the scriptures too. Get that first. If you have a black mom and a Caucasian father who knows he's Caucasian, you're a Caucasian. Exactly. That's the seed. Good look. Look, bro, if you take an apple, listen, you take an apple seed and you plant it in China, does it turn into a pineapple? You take an apple seed from here in America. You take an apple seed and you plant it in China. So an American apple seed planted in China, does it become a pineapple? Does it change its nature, or is it still an apple? The soil is different, but it's still an apple. It's just a different soil. That's it. Read that.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 1, verse 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month.
So here we were doing a census right here in the wilderness. We were doing a census, gathering up everybody and getting an account of how many people we had in the wilderness with us.
And they declared their pedigrees.
They declared their pedigrees. You know, like when you have a certain breed of dog, you go by the pedigrees, correct? And where'd that sister go with the, where'd she go? Okay, okay, good. So you know when you have a dog pedigree, that's its race, the kind of dog it is, right? You've heard that before, like an animal planet. You know how they have different pedigrees of dogs? That's their race, that's their breed. So read that again.
And they declared their pedigrees.
So we declared our race, our nationality, by what?
After their families.
After our families.
By the house of their fathers.
By the house of our fathers. That determines our nationality and our race. That's how we know who we are according to the scriptures.
That's right.
So somebody could have a Jamaican mother and a Dominican father. What is he? No? A Jamaican mother and a Dominican father.
Oh, he's Dominican.
He would be from the tribe of Simeon. Because that's what his father is. So he's still an Israelite either way, but he'd be from the tribe of Simeon because that's what his father is. So, now to get back to my point, Zephaniah 3 to show you how we know who's Israel and who's not, who's scattered across the countries. We got people in our school who might look like they're Asian. Give me that book. Give me that blue book. Right there. The blue book. People who might look Asian, they might look white, they might look Indian.
But they really black.
Exactly.
That out about living out there in that area.
Yeah.
Some of the people over there that live in them gated communities.
Yep.
They just got some type of treaty.
Exactly.
Or some type of.
Well, no, it's because.
Or something behind their social or where they came from.
Where they came from, their family.
Yeah, and they got all these. I ain't gonna say riches, but you know they wealthy enough.
Ebos, get the Ebos book. That's what I want. The Ebos book. Yeah,
Jeremiah chapter 3 and verse 13. The remnant of Israel.
So the remaining of Israel
shall not do iniquity.
Shall not do iniquity. What do you think iniquity is? Iniquity is sin. So the remnant of Israel, they're not going to sin. That's how we're going to know who's Israel and who's not. Because if you're coming from Africa or from Asia or from India, if you believe that your father, your ancestors, if you see yourself in the Bible and you keep the laws, that's how you prove that you're Israel. Keep reading, and then get Romans 8.
Nor speak lies.
Nor speak lies.
Neither shall deceitful tongue be found in their mouth. For they shall feed and lie down, and none shall make them afraid.
We're talking about Ethiopia. No, it's in the same chapter. Verse 10.
Verse 10. For beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, my supplant, even the daughter of my dispersed.
The daughter of my dispersed. Because like I said, in Deuteronomy 32 and 27, we were dispersed in Africa. Hey, bro, we gotta study, bro, so we can teach people like you. We got to. That's our responsibility as men, and hopefully that'll be your responsibility too, is to teach our people the correct way of the Bible so we can get out of these lower states. So we can have our own business, so we can be on top like we're supposed to be. That's right. But because of sin, we're on the bottom.
Verse 26, and said, I would scatter them into corners. I would make the remembrance of them.
Read that again.
I will make the remembrance of them.
First part.
I said, I would scatter them into corners.
So we got scattered into corners through what? How do we get scattered into corners of the earth? Slavery.
I would make the remembrance of them to cease from among men.
What remembrance did we forget? We forgot who we were. We forgot we was Jews. So I'm going to show you how we're an astonishment among the nations. Because most nations, they know who we are. The upper echelon, they know who we are, bro.
Why this little young nigga? I mean, this little young brother down the street, right? I don't even know this nigga. I don't know this nigga from a can of spray paint. We was just talking, and I was like, man, I can't hit this. You know what I mean? Because I know my parents ain't gonna do this shit with me, so I ain't gonna do this. Right. I told you can't hit this Jake with me, but I'm listening to what you're saying. So, I did the shit anyways. You know what I'm saying? But the homie was like, when you just said that, it's crazy for the because this little young nigga told me, he said, yeah, man, my father said, y'all come on, but y'all really not gonna be trusted, man. We we know who y'all are, and because y'all don't know who y'all
There
are,
you go.
we gonna continue to treat y'all like this. That's why
There you go.
He said, my father said, when I come out to 7-Eleven, don't give y'all no change, cause y'all really stronger than this, and because y'all are, and y'all know who y'all are, and y'all let another white man do this shit to y'all, we gonna keep y'all just like that.
Well, he was Ethiopian, I'm guessing? Yep. They know who we are, bro. They know who we are, and we don't know.
That's how they know too, because his father said, yeah, I know about it. His father was saying, he really don't want to do it, but he said because he's been taught certain stuff that he think that he knows that the possibility that his family, that they might be Israelites, but because their father or other people have taught them not to deal with us, that's, and that because they know who we are, that's why they gonna keep it like that.
So they're doing that to keep us down. I'm saying, but right there, I met an Ethiopian dude in 7-Eleven too. He seen me. He knew before I can finish my sentence. He finished my sentence for me. He said, "Yeah, y'all the sand of the sea. Y'all the true Jews." He asked me a question to see where my knowledge was at. Then he see when I was answering him, he already knew what I was gonna say. They know who we are. That's why we gotta wake up and know who we are to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. We gotta get that. So, the question: do you understand about how there's remnants of us in Africa and overseas? Do you understand that? How we could be scattered, or do you want me to go over that again?
Yeah, I understand now.
Okay.
That we just scattered out.
Yep.
Into 4 regions of the world.
Yep, the 4 corners, so all the earth basically.
All the earth.
Yep.
And we was enslaved.
Yep.
Know who we are. Basically, by a white man.
Yep, and not the white man,
White man.
the Africans and the Arabs too.
Egyptians, right?
Yep, that Egyptian, yeah, that was back in the day, but yeah.
Arabs are now saying that they're the true Egyptians.
Right. Right, and they sold us too. Get that in Joel, yeah.
The same people who did this shit.
Right.
The same people that trafficked the little girls and all that.
Same people, bro, same people.
Same people.
In Libya today, they still killing us in the country of Libya today. You can Google online, watch videos. They cutting us, they selling us, they doing all that stuff. Raping us still today. Read that.
The book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 4. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon?
So the Most High God is saying, what do you have to do with me, Tyre and Zidon? Tyre and Zidon are 2 ancient African kingdoms. So he's talking to the Hamites as a nation right now. He said, what do you have to do with me? Because why? The Most High God is not their God. He's the only God is of the Israelites, the Most High God. He's only for us, not for the other nations. Keep reading.
And all the coast of Palestine.
And all the coast of Palestine. Where's Palestine at?
I'm not sure.
It's in the Middle East.
Which man? That's you trying to say Pakistan?
No, Palestine's a country. There's Pakistan and there's Palestine. So he's saying, so all the coast of Palestine. So who was he talking about in a general sense? Right there. Who lives in the Middle East?
Oh, the Ethiopian people.
No, the Arabs.
Arabs, yeah.
So he said, you Africans and you Arabs, what do you have to do with me? Keep reading.
Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me.
So are you going to try to pay me back? Because I'm not your God? So you're going to come to my people? Is that why you're going to enslave my people? What is God going to say?
Swiftly and speedily will I.
Swiftly and speedily will he what?
Will I return your recompense upon your own head.
The same thing the nations did to us when Christ come back and we on top, those nations going into captivity too.
That's right.
All of them. Keep reading.
Oh, read that again. I'm sorry.
Read again.
I'm trying to comprehend that. Read slow.
Verse 4. Yea, what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon?
The 2 ancient African kingdoms. So he's speaking to the children of Ham as a whole. He's talking to them. So you Africans, and who else?
And all the coast of Palestine.
And all the coast of Palestine, which is the
Middle East.
Middle East, the Arabs. Yep.
Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me.
So will you come against my people because I'm not your God? Are you going to attack my people and enslave my people? And if you do enslave my people,
swiftly and speedily.
Swiftly and speedily. This is how you know the Most High God is a black man. Because who talks like that? Like, I'm going to come for your neck. That's what he's saying basically right now. I'm going to come for y'all necks because you came for my people. That's what God is saying.
Swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head.
So the same thing they did to us, Christ can do the same thing to those nations. Read.
Oh, karma.
Yeah. No, it's the same thing. It's going to come back around. Yeah, karma is going to come back around. Karma's from the Bible. And get Revelation, hold that real quick. Get Revelation 13:10. The Bible talks about that. Yes, sir. Revelation 13:10, read that.
Revelation chapter 13, verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity.
He that leads people into captivity
shall go into captivity.
Shall go. They will go into captivity. So the white man, the Arabs, the Africans, the Asians, they're going to go into captivity too.
He that killeth with the sword.
He that kills with the sword.
Must be killed with the sword.
They must be killed with the sword. They're going to get that same judgment. Go back.
Verse 5. Joel chapter 3 verse 5. Because you have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things.
So also the silver and gold is talking about, of course, talking about our jewels and all that stuff, but talking about us too, because we're the Most High God's pleasant things also.
The children also of Judah.
The children of Judah, which is talking about the African Americans, so-called African Americans, so-called West Indians, and so-called Haitians. The tribe of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. That's talking about them. That's the southern kingdom of Israel. Because back in the day, we got split into two kingdoms. The southern kingdom and the northern kingdom, which is why today we're still at odds ends. Why do you think today African Americans are people Hispanics? Because back in the day, we was at odds ends then too. That's why we got to come together now. Even back then, we was like that.
Even some of the Hispanics, if you look at them, they look like us.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're ours.
Or not to be funny or not be disrespectful, but you know, I don't know if y'all be hearing this, but sometimes I be hearing a Hispanic person say Negro or nigga, because they really know that they
they niggas, they're just like us. They
know
do.
Just like us. So
look at Brazil.
That's why I'm not towards them, but somebody I don't like them because they
because some of them feel like they're white people. They feel like they're better than us because they don't know who they are. That's why they shoot us like that. Keep reading.
Man, it ain't no real true history about the whites. So where the fuck did you come from?
Some of the white man?
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you that too. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna finish this, then I'm gonna go to the Hispanic history, then I'm gonna go to the so-called white man's history. So I'm gonna take care of our people first before I get to the end.
Right.
The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem.
Children of Jerusalem is talking about the tribe of Ephraim on down, the northern kingdom of Israel, your Hispanics, and your Native Americans.
Have ye sold unto the Grecians?
You heard that? Yep. Yep, bro. All those are people. Listen to this. Read that again.
The children also of Judah.
So the blacks.
And the children of Jerusalem.
So-called Hispanics, Native Americans. What did the Africans, the Arabs do with us?
Have ye sold unto the Grecians?
Who are the Grecians? The whiteys, the white man. So the Africans and Arabs, that's the sub-Saharan slave trade right there when they had the captivity. Read that again.
That was the biggest slave trade.
That was one of the worst ones. That was one of the worst ones,
white.
bro. The Arabs treat us way bad, but listen, I'm showing you the connection between the sub-Saharan and the transatlantic slave trade. Read that again.
The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians.
So that's your transatlantic slave trade right there. That shows you the Africans and the Arabs came together. That's sub-Saharan. Then when they sold to the white man, that's when that became the transatlantic slave trade. So now, let me ask you a question. I'm moving over to our Hispanic brothers. Who went into slavery first, us or Hispanics?
I'm going to say I think it was the Hispanics. Because over here, even though this is what I think when I wake up in the morning, there's a high power, but before we even met each other, then it could have been a possibility that we was here first.
We was here, bro.
And they was here, but we just didn't meet each other or know. We knew, but we probably didn't know. Like, is it really somebody else still out there? Or, because all this technology and all this shit wasn't around.
Right, it wasn't.
And
but what do we have?
What I think is happening is that they got taken, that some of them was kept here for slaves, but then some of them was took to Spain and was told that, listen,
you 100% correct.
This was you gonna learn.
Yep.
This is the fuck we gonna teach y'all. And this is what the fuck it is. All because of what the brother right here said, because we wasn't listening to God.
Exactly.
We got too, how can I say this? We got too
we
got too comfortable with dealing with, I guess.
We didn't care about the laws. We wanted to do whatever the flesh wanted to do. We wanted to drink, get high, whatever we did what we wanted to do, we stopped following God's laws. And you were 100% correct. We were here first. The majority was the Native Americans, Hispanics was here first. It was some black people here too, but the majority was then. And I'm going to show you in the scriptures how we got here. Get a second Esdras. The Bible talks about how they came to America. I'm going to show you that. We was here before Columbus, before all of them.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah. That's what I know too. That's why. Oh, this another way they oppress us too. The history books. The real history that's in the history books from 2nd grade all the way to 12th grade, all that shit is a lie. Only thing that's not in there, okay,
About 9/11, but that's a lie too though, because didn't no motherfucking Muslim people do that shit either though.
Yeah.
We all know that. Why he orchestrated that shit? Because it was a business for them to get paid off of at the time. Yeah, and that too. Yeah.
You 100% right. All that stuff in those books are false. Even nowadays, they changed the slavery to the great work migration. They said we came over willingly to work.
No,
that's what they say now, bro. In elementary, that's what they say in elementary school. Nah, bro, it wasn't that. They took it by force.
They probably tricked us with.
Nah, bro, by force. Look, no, the Africans gave, they capitalists and told us to. I'm trying to tell you, the Africans sold us to them. They did trick the Native Americans. They tricked them.
So how the fuck did they get hold of our people?
I'm gonna show you. Because what?
It makes sense, but it's like, how the fuck?
Because what?
If we from Africa, why did you do that?
No, we were from Jerusalem. No, we're from Jerusalem. I remember we went into Africa when Jerusalem was captured.
Right.
That's what happened. Yeah. Yeah. That happened in slavery. Yeah. We got scattered in the four corners of the earth. So we went to Africa to blend in because they sort of look like us. But they, like you said, the brother, the little boy knew we're not his people. So after a while, they started enslaving us. Even after, we taught the Africans so much in that land. We taught them how to do a lot of things, just like we taught the white man. But again, the Most High put them over us because we sinned. Even though we outnumbered them, but the Most High made a way for it to happen because how? He's the greatest, he's the God. He's the only God. So he could do that. Get that second Esdras. I'm going to show you how the Hispanics got to America. Hey, somebody look up Esdras on their phone.
This is Second Esdras, chapter 13, verse 40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanasseh, the king of Assyria, led away captive.
Hey, Matai, get the Eboo's book for me. I don't know where he put it. Get the Eboo's book. Where's it at? All right. Find the part about Jews and trying to look Chinese. Read that again. Hold on, sis. I got this. Hold on.
Second Esdras, chapter 13, verse 40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners.
So those are the 10 tribes, talking about the northern kingdom of Israel, the Hispanics, Native Americans, and the Seminole Indians,
which were carried away prisoners out of their own land. In the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanasseh, the king of Assyria, led away captive. And he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land.
So after that, we was under captivity with him. Then he took us and he actually gave us liberty at that time. And that only happened because the Most High God made it so.
But they took this counsel among...
No, Assyrian captivity, sis. That was Assyrian. Hold on one second.
But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen, and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt.
So, read that again.
But they took this counsel among themselves.
So we talked amongst ourselves. What are we going to do?
That they would leave the multitude of the heathen.
Who's the heathen again? Not the same. Who else?
Oh, white, Middle East.
Yep. Africans, Asians, Indians, East Indians.
East Indians.
Yeah.
Right, because that's a difference. It's a
difference. Yeah. Right.
Because
Indio means slave.
India,
right.
They don't fuck with us.
They don't. They don't. But even in Trinidad and Jamaica right now, they treat us like dogs too down there. You know, a lot of them live down there. That's why they call them West Indians, because the Indians, they enslaved us there. That's why the Caribbean, they call them the West Indies, because we was enslaved there. Keep reading.
And go forth into a further country.
So we took the counsel among ourselves to go forth into a further country.
Where never mankind dwelt.
You heard that? Where mankind never dwelt.
That they might there keep their statutes.
That there we might have freedom to keep our laws, keep our statutes and commandments.
Which they never kept in their own land. And they entered into the Euphrates.
So we went through the Euphrates River, because remember, we was in Assyria, so we had to come down, pass the way around, down under Africa, and go up to come to America, and to South America. That's how we got there, through the Euphrates River.
By the narrow passages of the river. For the Most High then showed signs for them.
So the signs the Most High showed us were the stars. We were using the stars to navigate in the ocean. Because back then, we didn't have any GPS or stuff like that. We used the stars and compasses. That's what we used.
And held still the flood till they were passed over.
You heard that? And he held still the floods till we got through. So the Most High made sure the weather and the storms was good in the sea, so we can get through safely.
For through that country, there was a great way to go.
It's a long passage. From there all the way to America, that's a long passage.
Namely of a year and a half.
It took us a year and a half to get down there.
And the same region is called Arzareth.
And the same region where no mankind never dwelt is called Arzareth. Read that again.
And the same region is called Arzareth.
So let's see Arzareth. Look this right here. This is on a website called the Jewish Encyclopedia. Where is it? Here we go. The name of the land beyond the great river, far away from the habitation of man, in which the 10 tribes of Israel will dwell, observing the laws of Moses until the time of restoration. That's talking about until Christ come back. Columbus, and this is in a movie too. What's the name of that movie? 1492. They show us in a movie how Columbus knew he was there. So I'm saying they put some of the truth in the movies because they know we don't know. They know we're not reading. And
how they found us?
Yeah, it's in a movie, bro. 1492. Columbus identified America with this land. So Columbus used our books to find us. He knew he was in America. That's how he knew how to get there. It wasn't no by chance he just happened to find a land inhabited with people there. They was coming for us to enslave us. That's why the Queen of Spain sent him there. He knew where he was going. Yeah, get that. Yeah, he knew we was there. Get lost out in the promised land. I'm gonna show you the books we got. So Columbus and Spain, they had the apocrypha to know how to find us. I'm gonna read that to you.
And he came to where we was at.
Get black Indians. Get black Indians for me. Right there. No, black Indians. Not black Indians. Right there.
Right here.
Read this. Read that. Read the highlighted parts. So this is from a book called Black Indians.
The book called Black Indians. Page 27. For the people of the Americas, the arrival of Columbus was hardly a blessing.
Meaning it wasn't a blessing at all, because he came murdering, raping, and stealing. That's what Columbus came to do. Jump to there. All right, now keep reading, keep reading.
On the first day of October 12th, 1942, 1492, the explorer wrote in his diary, I took some of the natives by force.
So 1492, that's when Columbus so-called discovered America.
I took some of the natives by force. He
took all of them by force. You know, sometimes they use semantics and everything, but you know they took all of us by force.
He later found the original inhabitants to be tractable, peaceable.
Peaceable, because we was a peaceful people.
And concluded, there is not in the world a better nation. His response as a European was to say that Indians must be made to work.
Indians must what?
Must be made to work.
So when he first came to America at the Hispaniola, right then he said, they're nice people. They peaceable. I'm putting them to work. I'm gonna enslave those people. That's what he said to do.
And adopt our ways.
What do you say, sis?
What? Indians means Indiana. That's Acts chapter 19. Indians means Indiana.
What? Indio means slaves. That's what they call us that. It means slaves, sis. We are. We still are. And we was. Keep reading. Keep reading. I'm gonna finish with the brother first. Keep reading.
And adopt our ways. The Christopher Columbus, whose unique seamanship.
His unique seamanship, because he knew how to travel to get there. Because he read the apocrypha to know how to find us in America.
And courage had opened to the. This Christopher Columbus, whose unique seamanship and courage had opened the Americas to European penetration.
Basically, they was in us. They was raping us. They was taking our food, taking our land. That's what read that again. So when you penetrate, when you penetrate something, you're breaking it. You're breaking through. So he broke through into our land and took everything that we had.
Christopher Columbus, whose unique seamanship and courage had opened the Americas to European penetration. Also began the transatlantic slave trade.
Began what?
The transatlantic slave trade.
So our so-called Hispanic brothers and sisters, they went into slavery first. Read it again.
To the Americas, the European penetration also began the transatlantic slave trade.
So the Spaniards, that's why the Hispanic seeds are so beneath them, because they've been indoctrinated for 400 years before us. They had 400 years of slavery before they got to us. So that's why they're really brainwashed too, just like us. That's why they praise the picture of Mary as God. That's why they think they're white. That's why they think we're beneath them. They think we're dirt because they got brainwashed so much through slavery. That's what they think of us now. They don't think they're Hispanic. They don't think they're like us. They see themselves with the white man because that's who oppressed them. That's why they see us that way. Go down to this.
When he loaded 1,100 Taino men and women aboard from Spain, four Spanish ships.
So in four Spanish ships, they were going to take us to Spain.
The crowding and the stormy Atlantic crossing took a fearful toll. Only 300 survived.
So you heard that. Out of 1,100 men and women, from here to Spain, only 300 of us survived that journey. You think they stopped? No, we got more of them there. We're going to keep making round trips, get more of them. That's what they did.
But Columbus and Spain had decided to continue the profitable slave trade.
See? They continued to do that profitable slave trade because they knew there was money in it. It's still today. It's still in Libya. When you go home, Google Libya slave trade. You'll see they still in country Africa and Libya, they still enslaving us, still beating us. And they're recorded and posted online. Today. 2019, they still do that to us. Today.
Now they will see the true men of God. We are not black men, we are the Israelites. Take care of us. And our children too. We have repented. How are you? People want to know who's the king.
O nation of Israel, it's time to return to the Father. O nation of Israel, it's time to return to the Father.
Now why they trying to make it so hard to serve God? And why when I say that I'm a Jew it sound odd? For years I've been walking around saying that I'm a black man. I ain't saying that no more, it sounds wrong, man.
This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels. Stay up to date with our latest events, music, and classroom lessons. IUIC plans to continue visiting different countries where this gospel has not been preached before. IUIC needs your help in pushing this truth. So join us. Subscribe to our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and podcasts, and stay up to date with us. For more information, please visit www.israelunite.org.